Okay, we've had our hog comb on here for about a week, a little bit over a week, I guess. And it's time to do a hive management, see what they're doing. So this is just a typical, make sure they're not going to swarm on us, and see if they're building into a hog comb, see if they're clean right. And this kind of inspection, when everything's done, it should be really quick, unless we run into an obvious problem. First thing is I smoke and I take the lid off. The lid always goes in front of the colony like that as a working area. Policy, we train everyone to do that. And what we're doing is we're checking to see if they're on the comb. So these guys are barely through it. They're not doing much in this amount of time. I would have figured they should be doing something. There should be more bees up here. So we'll go down a little bit farther. I'll smoke every step of the way to make sure we're gonna keep things nice and I don't have to put a veil on, hopefully. It's about midday, so it's a good time to look at it. Sun's out. A little bit more windy than I like. Sometimes if it's windy, there's more foragers staying back and it's not as nice to work on them. Usually when we're getting like plastic foundation drawn out, I'll recommend not putting a queen excluder on if you want to have better results. You don't put the queen excluder on, come back a week later, and then make sure the queen's not up there. Put the queen excluder on, because once they start working it, they'll be willing to go through the queen excluder. So here, these like to snap up sometimes, so what I do is carefully work it up. If you bounce it off and you throw the bees in there, then all of a sudden you're just, again, not going to be working as nicely. There's always a danger of the queen being here, but she's not there. All right, so to quickly hive manage in here, and the commercial way of doing it, just to, when you have a lot of colonies to get through, is I'll just crack into here. Okay, all the frames. And then what you do is just pull this box forward like that, and it's quite heavy. And then what I'm gonna do is a little more smoke, so I don't have to get stung in the face. And we're gonna expect all these bottom bars like this coming down. And what I'm looking for is any queen cells there. So these I can see are all drone cells. Oftentimes if I'm not making queens, I see this for a quick to knock down the commercial way, to a little quick mite control. Knock those out. The bees will use resources from that, and it slows down the mites a bit, because that's where all the mites are going to be hiding out, in that drone cappings. And keeps them busy looking up that juice. So I don't see any queen cells here. They were just slow getting in there. They're probably waiting for a bunch of brood to hatch out and get up into that box. What I could do is leave the queen excluder off for a day here, come back tomorrow. But with this hog comb, it's not going to be as easy to get the queen out of there if she's in there. So I don't know, it's a catch-22 there. So this is nice, full box. They're just slow. What we'll do again is, did we bring that sugar syrup?
Yep.
When you're putting stuff back together and there's a lot of bees like this, I mean, if there's a ton there, you can smoke them out of the way. But what I call is the shimmy, and when you shimmy like this, bees are pretty responsive to not get crushed, and so you're shimmying it, and as you shimmy this, they know what's going on and they get out of the way for you. So it's slow and easy. Now this will not end up being stored or anything like this. This just gets them up above the excluder. It's not a great sprayer. And gets them up here interested in something. And once they start going through that, they'll continue doing it and start working in the box. So we'll do this again and see if it helps. Okay, so poor results on the first one. Yeah, I'll let you put it back together. Okay, this looks a little bit more promising. So if they're on the inner cover, that means they're going through the hog comb, so that's a good sign. Okay, much better. So these guys are just starting to work it. They're coming through. Actually, you can see wet right here. So they're actually probably bypassing and coming through here and packing a bit there. But when you look right here, and here, and here, and here, the bees are drawing it out. So this one, I don't need to go any farther. I can see that they're drawing out, and they're going to put honey even on this end one here. All of these are drawn out, so you can see that one is not. So come look at this end. You can see that they're drawing it out, and it's already pulled out. And so they're going to already be packing that with honey. So this is a good one. If we get any kind of nectar flow and a bit of a brood hatching out down below, that will be filled. So that one's coming along. one similar. Doesn't look quite as strong, but let's see what's going on here. Oh, even better actually. So this is great. They're going to be drawing that out. We don't need to touch anything. They're doing what they're supposed to. What I'm looking for is if they didn't go through the queen excluder, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, split the boxes, pull them forward to see if they decide to swarm instead. That's really all I'm doing today. Unless I get to a hive where something is noticeably wrong, like I open it, there's no bees at the top, I crack it, they want to sting me, or they're buzzing loud, then I'll have to go throw a veil on and see if they're queenless or what's going on. So. Okay, this one maybe we'll have a quick check to make sure. So here we cracked it. First thing I'm going to check is I look along that cracked drone right here, and I immediately I'm scanning along looking for little black specks or brown mites. I'm looking for mites. And I see no mites there. That's just a quick way to see. If I saw like 3 or 4 mites in each one of those, I'd be, uh-oh, we got a mite problem. But that's not the case. So here, what we're looking at is here there's a queen cup, which is likely nothing. I open it up, there's no egg, it's not wet in there, so that's just, that doesn't show intention to swarm. They always will build those cups. And I don't see any queen cells hanging down. So, I mean, I think we're good on this one as well. We'll see how fast it takes to inspect 10 hives. And we'll have a look at this one as well. Save a bit of time here and just crack it right here. Pull this forward. And from here, I mean, I can see right across inside. There's no queen cells, so we're good on this one. It just needs to... I should mention we've actually had nothing but kind of crappy weather the last week too, so hopefully we got some sun, and with all the rain we had, that this nectar keeps flowing for a bit here. We're not too far away from sumacs actually are still in bloom here where we're at, so hopefully that keeps going for a bit and it's prolonged by the rain. So this one, same stage as the last one. The bees are sitting calm, they're onto the comb. I don't have any reason to believe there's anything going wrong with this. They're all being calm, there's nothing out of the ordinary here, so that's good. Now if I found one that's completely empty, we will. Like this one, I mean it's, well, let's have a look at the bumblebee there, that's what happens. So I thought a bumblebee thought it could come in here. It didn't last, so. Alright, so we'll check this one real quick. Maybe we'll even pull a frame on this one, because I always take the time, like, when you get to be commercial beekeeping, it's more like on a yard basis. So we'll run through here, and then every once in a while when you see something like this, we might just stop, pull it, make sure, see what's going on. But it's never checking every single hive like this, pulling every frame unless you have reason to, right? So we'll see if there's some reason there's not a queen. I do not see eggs there. Tiny patch of brood with no eggs around it. Packed with honey. So oh, there's the queen right there. So I guess we're good here. On this side there should be eggs. Means she's getting to the top of the brood nest and they're gonna have no choice but to get into that hog comb. So be careful about that back. So that's a good sign. Queen's there. The honey's to the top. It means that they're, as the brood in the bottom in these side boxes hatches out, there's nowhere to go but into that hog comb. And so this is just behind. It's the timing's off here. So with hog comb, what I was hoping to see and what you want with any comb production is the box is on right when you want it. You'll get what's called traffic. And so the longer the bees are weak and walking like that, they'll leave traffic marks and the comb honey isn't as white and beautiful looking. So ideally, like the couple that we saw where they were in that box and working it, the perfect timing is to throw that box on or they're just gonna go whoosh right through it because they need the room so badly. So these are all on just a bit early, quite a few of them. I think I only saw 2 colonies. There were, I think it was 2 that were good timing, and they're gonna have those make some honey for us quickly. This looks like a one for further investigation. So this, when I see this, it definitely needs, like, what's going on here. They probably swarmed, so we'll see. My guess is this is out of the, is there 10 here?
Yeah.
Out of the 10 here, probably this is already swarmed on us. So we'll find out quickly what's going on here. So when I get it up like this, you see here, the idea here is not to let this box come back down again. And I just get in there and pop all those frames down. It's heavy. If I get out of breath or it's too hard, you can always hold your hive tool there for a sec. Or if they're getting nasty, don't let the box come down again and put smoke in there. As soon as you start going up and down with the box and crushing bees, looks like that, it becomes less fun. This is completely honey packed. Like 80 pounds of honey probably. So we'll check the bottom box, which is probably going to tell us everything we need to know. Other thing is here, I don't see any swarm cells along here, so maybe it didn't swarm. We'll find out. Maybe it was just a weaker colony here. So the way to find out fast when you're looking for eggs, you see the brood here. You should follow it out. You see older, so this is the oldest, larva there that's getting, so that one right there, that's likely they're just starting to cap that, haven't finished capping that. That's what that looks like. So all these are going to be capped here in the next day or so. And as you follow it out, larvae should get smaller and smaller. And right there, there's eggs. So I mean, it didn't swarm. So that's all I need to do on this. You see the eggs, same thing here, old, and then older larvae getting smaller and smaller, which means they're younger and younger, and following it out until you follow the pattern to where her eggs would be, which are going to be, you can see the larvae getting smaller and smaller, and then that's where the eggs should be, and there are eggs there. So this one's queen right. It's got the top box packed with honey, and we'll just run an experiment here and see what happens with the hog comb. We'll spray this queen excluder with some sugar and put it back together. I'll do this last hive, and that's how long it takes to inspect 10 colonies quickly to see if they need any help. This one here was just a crazy, it was like full beard to here, so we decided for the heck of it to throw 2 boxes on to see what would happen, see if they would go through it. So we'll find out if they're, what they're doing, and they're into that second box. Let's see what the first box looks like. That's a good sign. Yeah, look at that. So this one's probably the most advanced that we saw here. The comb is being drawn out. Once they're at that stage, all we need is some nectar, and that's just, you know, a day or 2 and they can have that full out. It's not frame to frame, but actually it's from here right to even this one. They've got some wax coming on, so we can just leave this on for them. And then same thing in about 7-8 days, maybe 10 days, we'll check these again, because they're there's nothing here to worry about too much. They're not into those yet. So I mean, these 2, if we had, you know, spectacular nectar flow on, this could be filled, you know, it will surprise you, because all the brood will hatch out, and the workforce can really put on honey fast, especially if you have like a basswood or like a high nectar yielding crop going on. So there's inspecting 10 hives. Oh, here we go. I guess when we did this one, I already noticed I had a virgin queen and we saw eggs, so we can write on that queen right. So that's what, I always read your lids to know what's going on. So that one was a virgin queen, and now we know it's queen right. So what we do here is so VQ means virgin queen, and what will happen now is we put QR, which means queen right, in today's date, and we know we got a good hive there now. So not typically something you'd put hog comb on, but so it should work.